Hey Fragcom, Mike here with iSMELL. I want to thank you for stopping by the channel today. If this is your first time visiting, I am going to encourage that you check out my other content. However, if you are a returning subscriber, as I say in every single video, yes, I do genuinely love and appreciate the support, you guys. Either way, please like, subscribe, click the notification bell. It goes a long way to strengthen the YouTube algorithm, not to mention it ensures that you're able to stay tuned in to future content that I upload. Okay, so first things first, I want to provide an update as it relates to the progression of this channel. Okay, so less than 24 hours ago, I uploaded a video where I compared and contrasted 3 popular fragrances within the community. I also encouraged everybody to subscribe so that I could get past that 100 mark, and I am excited to announce to y'all that as of today, as of the recording of this video, we are now past the 100 subscribers mark. From the bottom of my heart, guys, I really do appreciate it. It may not seem like a lot. However, as this channel grows, all of these milestones really do matter. I don't take y'all's time for granted. So again, thank you. So as it relates to the concept of this video, we will be reviewing and discussing a popular fragrance from the house of Armaf called Club de Nuit Milestone. We will also be comparing and contrasting Milestone to the fragrance which it gets compared to, and that is from Creed, and it's called Millesime Imperial. We have a lot of information to get through, you guys, in this review. I'll see y'all on the other side of the intro. Okay, you guys, so Armaf Milestone was a fragrance that was launched in 2015. When doing the research for this fragrance, I was unfortunately unable to find out who the specific perfumer is. However, what's important to note is that Armaf is a popular Middle Eastern house which is renowned for their inspired reinterpretations of more expensive fragrances. A lot of Armaf's fragrances do seem to come from the house of Creed, and in this case specifically, this fragrance is a clone of Creed's Millesime Imperial, a fragrance that came out in 1995, and it is worth noting that Creed's Millesime Imperial is a $300 plus fragrance. Okay, so let's talk about the presentation for a bit. Armaf Milestone will be a fairly heavy bottle that is also gold coated. They also are notorious for being fingerprint magnets, as well as coming with these cheap little chains that are easily broken, so just be aware of that. Secondly, this is not a fragrance that you want to hold by the cap, as you can see. So be careful about that because this bottle is fairly heavy. I don't think it'll break, but it will fall down and ding whatever it falls onto. For those of y'all that enjoy discussing batch codes, just be aware that at the bottom, the batch code is present. It is imprinted on the bottom. I don't have the box with me. However, I do believe that the batch code is also imprinted on the box as well. Armaf Milestone is classified as a floral woody musk. And what's important to take away, it's not rocket science here, is that the heart components of this fragrance will include floral notes, and it will dry down into a musky, woody fragrance. Okay, the atomizer on this fragrance is acceptable, even more so when considering that this fragrance means to emulate a fragrance that is $300 plus. Okay, so the top notes on Milestone will include bergamot, C notes, as well as red berries. The heart notes will include violet, which is a powdery floral note similar to iris, and the base will be dominated by both ambroxan as well as musk. Let me give y'all a couple sprays real quick. So yeah, the atomizer is acceptable for the price point, and I have already sprayed it on myself. Let's talk about what I smell on this fragrance. Up top, you will smell bright bergamot as well as those marine accords. It is effervescent and bright and slightly salty. It will transition to a soft floral note that comes from the violet. Just be aware that violet is very similar to iris, and iris is the heart note in Millesime Imperial. You will also smell the woody notes begin to transition into this fragrance. It is blended rather well with the violet note. When this fragrance begins to dry down, you will smell a sweet woody musk as well as a slightly metallic demeanor, and that's due to the ambroxan, and it helps the fragrance to project and perform a little better. The seasonality of this fragrance and its overall demeanor, in my opinion, is meant for the daytime. It is meant for hot weather, and it can and should be worn outside. You can wear a fragrance whenever you want. However, the overall demeanor of this fragrance seems to convey that to me. Okay, so as it relates to the projection and the performance of Armaf Milestone, it is moderately above average, even more so when comparing to the less than stellar performance and projection of its competitor Millesime Imperial, which is known for being watered down these days. While we're on the topic of Millesime Imperial, I do feel it to be advantageous and informative if I give an honest comparing and contrasting of both Milestone as well as Millesime Imperial. I don't have a full bottle of Millesime Imperial, so I went to Neiman Marcus and got a sample. What are we getting?
The Millesime Imperial.
Nice.
Or the Millesime Imperial. This is so good. This is good. If you guys can smell the styrofoam, smell it.
Okay, so now that I have Millesime Imperial and I have Milestone, let's compare and contrast to see how similar they are. The only downside about this sample is that it doesn't have an atomizer, so I will be putting it on my wrist. And I know you're not supposed to rub it in, but I mean, sue me. Okay, so the Milestone is noticeably more scratchy in the opening. A lot of Armaf fragrances are kind of deemed to be scratchy in the opening. They don't have the best openings. It's at the dry down that you really begin to see the similarities of these two fragrances. The Millesime Imperial is also more salty. However, it is also noticeably watered down. When I asked my son initially what his first impressions of Millesime Imperial was, he literally said it smells like antibacterial soap. So take that for what you will, because he's obviously not biased. He doesn't know that one fragrance is $300 and more prestigious, and the other one is $30, and people want to hide it on the back of their shelves and not admit that they have it. Towards the middle of this fragrance, they both will smell essentially the same, as they both share that powdery floral component as well as woody notes. Towards the final dry down, you will begin to see Milestone edging out Millesime Imperial. Even though they are both sweet, slightly salty, musky fragrances in the dry down, you will notice that Milestone does edge out Millesime Imperial, and that is likely due to the ambroxan note, which gives it that further projection that Millesime Imperial does not have. To the uninitiated nose, you will not be able to smell the difference, and in some cases, you won't be able to even smell Millesime Imperial because it is watered down. So just take that into consideration when making your final decision. Millesime Imperial is a $300 fragrance that you might not be able to smell, whereas Armaf Milestone is a $50 fragrance, which means to emulate a more prestigious fragrance. However, it's only $50. Alright you guys, so that's Armaf Milestone in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy fragrance related content specifically, I am going to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. I have some content coming down the pipe. Tyler with Simply Fragrances just tagged me in a video, so that will be the next one on the agenda to shoot. I really appreciate y'all sticking around towards the end of the video. Again, I don't take y'all's time for granted. Until next time, you guys, y'all take care. Stay safe. Bye.